Okay, it seems to be recording. So, hello everyone. Just real quickly, I am not Saveri, but you may have heard from Saveri in the past couple of weeks. She's actually just out of office today. So, I also represent the Edelman team and work very closely with Saveri and Laura to be your partner as an RFA advocate and a Flush Smart advocate. So, we're really grateful that you're here to join us today. We have some really exciting things to talk about with this Flush Smart Day coming up on July 1st. So we're here to share that. Laura, I wanted to give the floor to you just to get us kicked off. And then I'm happy to go through these slides and share more specifics with our friends here.
Great. Thanks so much, Emily. And hi, welcome everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. As Emily mentioned, we are preparing for our second annual Flush Smart Day. And just as a reminder, July 1st is Flush Smart Day because last year on July 1st is when the law was enacted that said that non-flushable wipes need to have the do not flush symbol. So just like that. And Assemblymember Bloom, Richard Bloom, who was the sponsor of the bill, issued a proclamation declaring it Flush Smart Day, which actually I have that right here. So it is official Flush Smart Day. And so we are continuing that tradition where the goal of Flush Smart Day is to remind people about smart flushing habits. So things that you should not flush down the toilet, where we primarily focus on wipes, but we do talk about other things, that you all know about very well. So whether it's feminine hygiene products or medication or other products in addition to non-flushable wipes. Those are the things that we highlight, but primarily we focus on do not flush, the educating consumers on the do not flush symbol and not flushing wipes. So
Laura,
with that,
I've got a quick
yes.
comment. Can I just, I can't help but adding dental floss.
Yes, dental
Is that on
floss
your?
is in there.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, I was touring a wastewater treatment plant a little while ago, and they said our biggest problem is actually dental floss.
Yes, that
So
is on
anyway,
our
sorry to
list.
interrupt.
No. That is on our list of do not flush items, and kitty litter and fog and all kinds of stuff. So we are definitely but thank you, Steve, for bringing up floss. If anybody has other things that they want to make sure we're highlighting, we're definitely happy to have that as well.
Sorry, this is Ryan Green. I would highlight the one thing that we've seen a lot of is a lot of the fruit labels. That's a really big problem that we're seeing that are getting through. So fruit labels is the other one I'd add.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't think that we've heard that before. So yeah, we'll make note of that. Okay.
Yeah, we have fruit label problems down here too. Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you. And if there's any other things that you can think of, feel free to let us know, drop them in the chat, send me an email, whatever you want, and we'll incorporate those into our messaging as well. So for Flush Smart Day, we also put together a Word document that's a toolkit, and hopefully all of you have that. If you don't, just, raise your hand or put it in the chat and we'll make sure to get you a copy of that. Or actually, I can put a copy of it in the chat as well. So with that, that's kind of a very high level overview of what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to let Emily walk through our campaign for Flush Smart Day. We have some really creative things happening that we're very excited for. And we are doing kind of a 1-2 punch for Flush Smart Day. So we have kind of our tried and true creative and messaging, and then we are going out and exploring our creative prowess and talking about the clog monster and some really cool and funny interactions that hopefully you guys will think is really good. So with that, I will turn it over to Emily. And if you don't have your microphone on mute, if you could do that, because I think there's a little bit of background noise. So with that, I will turn it over to Emily.
Thank you, Laura. And I just want to confirm that everyone can see my screen. Oh, we've got some lovely music coming from one of you. One second. There we go. I think we fixed it. Okay, great. So just a quick little recap. Some of you might have been one of our partners last year for Flush Smart Day. So I wanted to share with you some of the excellent accomplishments we had during our inaugural Flush Smart Day in 2022. Some of these numbers are really impressive, just especially considering that it was our first time really having an active campaign and promoting the do not flush symbol that can be found on wipes packaging. It seemed to really be a hit. So between our earned media, print advertising, and digital advertising efforts, we were able to amass in the millions. And in one case here with earned media and all of our media mentions, we were able to reach a potential 1.5 billion readership in total just from all of the opportunities we've had there. And those are eyeballs for the do not flush symbol. This is not about promoting RFA. It's not about promoting even necessarily the Flush Smart campaign, but just making people aware that this symbol exists. It's on packaging now due to the wet wipes labeling law, and they can be looking for it if they're ever unsure of what can and cannot go down the toilet. So we're really proud of these numbers. And in addition to that, we had some really awesome moments like Laura covered before. We have Assembly Member Richard Bloom giving us the resolution to recognize July 1st annually as Flush Smart Day. And so you'll see us very active around this time of year going forward. And then also, Laura did a wonderful job just kind of spreading the message about responsible flushing on a KCRA morning show feature. And we are in talks with KCRA for doing a follow-up. So stand by for more info on that. So it was just really a breakthrough year for us in 2022. And in 2023, we thought, why not try and go bigger? So we are really testing some new creative, focusing on more of a consumer education angle rather than a kind of all-encompassing and more focused on AB 818, which now became wet wipes labeling law. Now that it's law, we just want to make consumers aware of why the label is there and what it is there for. So a couple of work streams that we have going on at RFA. Number one is our social media activations. This is probably where we are the most active. We do have a Facebook, a LinkedIn, an Instagram, and we're already in talks about launching a TikTok. So stand by for content there. We think Clog Monster would be a really great persona to launch on TikTok and get some of those younger crowd individuals as well as their parents who are monitoring activity on the platform. And our content, if you are following us, you already know it highlights the importance of Flush Smart Day, but also responsible flushing habits year long. You'll see our kind of lovable villain, Clog Monster, in a lot of our creative, and you're about to see him quite a bit more. And we also love spotlighting you all. You guys all represent various municipalities and regions throughout the state of California as sanitation districts or wastewater agencies. So we really appreciate that partnership and just kind of showing consumers what happens after the flush. And so a lot of our content is focused on kind of the impact that happens when we don't flush the right products down the toilet. So that's social media. Earned media is also a really major piece of our campaign. We have been aggressively pitching both morning shows and bloggers and traditional earned media throughout the past couple of months. And so we are really pushing hard to get that message out. You may have even remember getting an email from Saveri Nandigama, who was asking you all for your own stories. What are you experiencing in your districts and your regions as far as flushability and what is coming down the pipes to you all and causing issues? Those stories are really, really important for us to grab media attention and show that this is a real world problem that is happening right beneath our feet. So continue to send us those stories, continue to send us any facts and figures you might have. We also have some data that has said that California could spend up to $47 million a year in just repairing wastewater infrastructure. And we could really prevent some of that, those costs by just engaging consumers in what they should do. So that is a big part of it. So be in touch with us if anything comes to mind that might be helpful. And then moving on to all the fun stuff that's going on. Like Laura said, we really are testing our creative prowess here to see what sticks. And so we have a lot of fun new creative that is rolling out this Flush Smart Day. You may have already seen some of our wipes packaging graphics. These are in kind of a traditional PSA style. We tried to keep it minimally branded to the RFA because the point is the message, not our brand. And so these are at your disposal to use as you wish. For social, they are optimal for social sizing. And there are a number of variations of this graphic showing everything from baby wipes to senior wipes to even disinfectant wipes and different types of packaging and backgrounds and copy to really get that message across. So if you have not already seen the SharePoint link for all of those graphics that you are free to use, please do drop that in the chat and we will make sure to get that link to you so that you have access to those downloads. In addition to that, we started thinking, how can we really come up with a creative story for this Flush Smart Day? And we've always had Clog Monster as sort of our vehicle for delivering the message about what not to flush. And bringing awareness to the do not flush symbol. So we're kind of giving Clog Monster a bit of an origin story. He's always been sort of a sidekick to our messaging, and now he's about to take a starring role in really delivering that message to consumers in a way that connects with them from a culturally relevant perspective, especially capitalizing on the Californian culture of entertainment. So that brings in these lovely little graphics. These are just examples. We thought, what if Clog Monster were to get loose? You know, he's been eating wipes and other non-flushable materials for so long that now he thinks he can rule the streets of California and all of your cities. And he's even taken over Hollywood. So we have a couple of parody movie posters we've been working on the past couple of months. These are just two examples, one being a parody of the horror movie It with Pennywise coming out of the sewers, and then even some more fun and playful iterations such as Clog Monster kind of living in his own world, almost like Barbie. And so these are movies that are past and present, so they're definitely top of conversation right now, and you'll see that rollout happening the week before Flush Smart Day as sort of a teaser to what's happening with Clog Monster. All of that leading up to his very own movie trailer. So no, we are not filming a full-scale movie, but we are going to reel in consumers with a movie trailer. So that is already underway. This is a little screen grab from that film. It's a 2-minute trailer that is going to premiere on Flush Smart Day on July 1st. That is kind of basically telling how Clog Monster got loose and what happened. And the story goes that consumers did not know what to flush, or they thought, you know, it was just one wipe. And so that it's not a big deal if I flush it this one time. And then all of a sudden that accumulates to this big, huge fatberg, along with all the other non-flushable things like fogs and floss and medications. And Laura, I see you have your hand up, so please just jump in.
Yeah, so I also wanted to add that, you know, every year we do a consumer survey, a consumer opinion poll for California. And one of the qualitative pieces of feedback we got about why people flush non-flushable wipes or other items when they know that they're not supposed to, because 60% reported that they do flush things they know they're not supposed to flush. One of the reasons was like, oh, it's just this one thing, you know, it's just this one time. And so we took some of that feedback and incorporated into this trailer to show like, well, your one action times like the population of California is a huge impact. So, but we do it in a way that's really fun and entertaining, and not like scolding, no, 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 you shouldn't do this, or
Yeah.
you're bad for doing this. So we would show it right now, but it's not finished. It's like probably 90% done. So stay tuned. We're going to have it really soon. And we do have, we have 10 posters, movie
I believe 10's
posters.
the number. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have those to start sharing with you guys. We're going to send a second toolkit out after Flush Smart Day that has all of this new creative and a link to the video and all that stuff.
Yes, thank you, Laura. Very good additions. And yeah, the whole point is to make the consumer the hero of this story by helping to prevent these issues. Whereas Clog Monster is our natural villain. We don't want him showing up in any of our either home plumbing or wastewater infrastructure, just causing problems. So yeah, that is the heart of all of this creative rollout. I'm going to move on because you're hearing a lot about this Clog Monster. Some of you might be familiar with him, but some might have only seen him once or twice, and maybe some of you have not seen him at all. So who is he? Why do we use him? So Clog Monster is our sort of character. If you think like Smokey the Bear or any other PSA related characters, we have Yuck Mouth and all the classics from the 70s and 80s. And so Clog Monster is kind of our own version of that. And oh, I'm going backwards, sorry. He now has a whole new life in this movie trailer. So once before he was a excuse me, a designed PNG graphic. And you'll still see that graphic around, but we are bringing him to life in a more realistic way where he's a bit more of a puppet and he's made of all things non-flushable. So you'll see makeup sponges as teeth and wipes and all this yuck and fatbergy looking stuff hanging off of him, even pills for eyes, for eyebrows. So we're really bringing him to life in this movie trailer and giving him a bit of a facelift to make him real. So that's just what he looks like right now. Excuse me. And he does have his own voice and tone. So he's kind of sarcastic. He's a little bit of a pest. He's not mean, I wouldn't say. He's just kind of a creature of habit. He, like a beaver building a dam, he's got to build that fatberg, and we just got to stop him from doing that because it's causing all sorts of unnecessary issues. And so in order to really bring that voice and tone to life, he is going to probably cause some trouble around Flush Smart Day. To give you a little bit more inside baseball, we are expecting him to have hacked the RFA Twitter account, excuse me, in which he's going to send out his own, excuse me, his own posts, just kind of talking about the do not flush symbol as being, oh, this is really slowing down my ability to feed my family more wipes or to really build a beautiful fatberg. Like, keep flushing those wipes. I got to keep, a living going. But it's going to be very clear it's from Clog Monster. We're finding a lot of creative ways to do that, whether that's attaching a selfie of him to these tweets where he's just very clearly taunting the RFA. And then we catch him, secure our account, and kind of banish him to having his own account in which he will live as @ClogMonster on Twitter, and continue to troll our content as sort of our very own reply guy. So he's going to be interacting with us after Flush Smart Day in that way. And we thought, if we could get some interaction from more than just the RFA, it could really legitimize this tactic of getting the message out where he's causing the trouble, but we're coming in to clean it up and share the real message of responsible flushing habits. We certainly are going to do that from the RFA channel, but this is why we are kind of bringing you all in to see if you have interest to kind of help us with that. I think the more that we do with Clog Monster, the more people we can reach, especially within your all's spheres of influence.
And I know that the National Stewardship Action Council has already indicated that they are definitely interested in having some playful banter with the clog monster. And again, it's going to be like when we had a brainstorming session to kind of figure out like, okay, who is the clog monster and what's his persona? I think where we kind of netted out was like he's something similar to like Cookie Monster, where he's annoying, he's a little bit extra, but he's kind of lovable. And not that we want anybody to love a fatberg or clogs, but we
Yeah.
want it to be something that people aren't alienated by, or we talked about like there's that one insurance commercial where it's like, hi, I'm Mayhem, and he tries to cause people to crash their car and stuff.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to go there, but we also didn't want him to be like Elmo, where he's a little bit annoying, but you really love him. So we didn't want it to be like that much.
Yeah.
So
I think someone said Oscar the Grouch in the chat, and I think that's closer. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is an example of what interactions with Clog Monster might look like, where we are posting our usual content, and here comes Clog Monster to reply right on top of it with his own snarky attitude. And if we were to have buy-in from one of you all to help us clean up this mess, you could even reply on top of Clog Monster to be like, actually, I side with the RFA on this one, Clog Monster, you've got to go. And so we always get the last word in these interactions, and it'll be very clear to consumers that this is all tongue in cheek and playful, but I think it does it in a way that we haven't seen a whole lot of before online, and is kind of a creative way to capture people's attention. So
And
this is
we're
just
happy to have you guys approve it, so we can do all of this, prep it before. So we're not just gonna, if you say, yeah, I'm interested in this, we won't just start doing some goofy thing with Clog Monster on your channel without you being aware. So
right.
you'll know that if you say, yes, we're interested, then we will share with you kind of the types of things that Clog Monster would say. You can approve it, and then we'll do it, and then you can respond.
Yeah. So last but not least, just a quick recap. Working together does not have to look like engaging with Clog Monster, although that is kind of our more fun way that we're excited about. But as a reminder, it could also include media collaborations, letting us know what relationships you have with certain media personnel that we could be in touch with and say, hey, like we're friends with the folks over at OC San or Los Angeles County, and we have a really great story to share with you. Would you mind sitting down for a conversation? Or even just providing a quote if we're able to secure a piece of earned media coverage. I think letting your voices be a part of this is really important for consumers to understand that this problem is a lot bigger than just RFA. We're just one small partner that is trying to help solve for it, but they have people in their own community that are solving for it on a daily basis. And then always you can engage with us much beyond Flush Smart Day. We highly encourage that. We're always active on social media and within our own channels, such as our blog and our newsletter that you get every month. So if you have more stories or ways that you would like to engage with us for opportunities, please do reach out to us. Particularly Laura and my partner, Saveri Nandigama, can be a really great resource for you. So these are just some of the 3 key areas in which we are asking for your help to make this a really big splash. But I would love to leave some time for any questions you may have. Go ahead,
I had
Rebecca.
a question. Yeah, thank you. So definitely, I think it sounds super fun and the interacting super great. I just sent our social media manager a message about that. I was hoping she could join, but I'll definitely share all that. And I know you'll be sending us information before it goes out there. My question is, how will that really work? Will you be tagging us, or, how will or what does the interaction look like? And Belen Carrillo is asking to be admitted and she's our social media manager. So I thought that that would be good for her to hear this part too.
Yeah.
I just want to know how that interaction between our two agencies, are you tagging us? How's the reaction? Are the actions going to go?
Yeah, so I put this sample right back on the screen so that I can explain also what the timeline would look like to make something like this happen. It looks simple on its face, but there's really a lot of preparation that could go behind it. So we always plan out our content well in advance. We're already planning out what we're going to say on Flush Smart Day and beyond throughout July. And so if you were to raise your hand and say, yes, we want to be a part of it, please let us know how. We're going to be providing you with an additional toolkit to let you see what that content is going to look like and what Clog Monster is going to say. And we're going to get as detailed as this is the day and time we're going to post this post so that you can set your calendars and alarms to know, okay, then I know to reply to Clog Monster after that goes live. So I think a lot of it is just kind of coordinating with your social media managers to make sure that we are in touch and that they are prepared and empowered to create good content on top of this. So it's all in just kind of letting you into the behind the scenes of what we are planning. And then the rest is kind of up to you.
Okay, that sounds great. And I know that Belen has joined our meeting, so she heard that as well. And I do appreciate that you'll send that to us ahead of time so that we could be prepared on our side. I just wanted to
Excellent.
make sure that we had a better idea of what that interaction will look like.
And I
Yeah.
think there's really two ways, right? So if you say, yes, we want to interact with Clog Monster, then we will be tagging you or
Yes,
putting something
perfect.
on your channel. But like this example here, the Clog Monster is interacting with RFA, and then the organization is replying to Clog Monster. So if you want to have a lesser interaction with him, you can just reply to some goofy thing that the Clog Monster says with your response, and then tagging us, and then you'll probably also want to use like Flush Smart or hashtag Flush Smart as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
right. There's
great.
kind of two ways of that. There's that way, like you see on the screen. And then the other way, if you are comfortable, is, you have your regularly scheduled content on your own page and along comes Clog Monster for posts that we have agreed on. So nothing is going to be done without your permission and your approval. But if there is a piece of content you want to plan out where you are expecting a Clog Monster to show up and then RFA comes and replies on top of Clog Monster to clean up that mess. So it will show a lot of the fun interactivity between accounts, and it's really up to you what level of participation you prefer.
Okay. That sounds great. I don't know if Belen Carrillo has any questions, just because she just joined 10 seconds ago. She may not, but I wanted to make sure she heard part of the conversation.
Yeah. And we can send this deck out to all participants as well in case you want to review afterward.
And we do have a question about whether or not we have information available in Spanish. And so, Emily, if you can go back to the one with like the pipe and the highlighting the do not flush symbol.
This one here?
No, yeah, that one. So the movie posters are going to be in English, but well, you can't see where I'm highlighting with my mouse, but the one that says check to see if your wipes clog pipes. Yeah, that one. I can get those translated into Spanish for you guys as well. All of our educational materials and infographics are in English and Spanish. But we can get those translated pretty quickly. So Emily, I'll just need you, we can connect offline about getting that taken care of.
Sure. These are great questions. Anything else? Iris, go ahead.
Hi, I was wondering, so is the Clog Monster only interacting on Twitter, or say we post on Facebook or Instagram, will the Clog Monster be active on those platforms as well, or is it only Twitter?
So at the moment, Clog Monster is a bit of a beta test here. So right now he is only on Twitter just because of the real-time interaction that Twitter currently allows for. But that's not to say that if this is successful and a real hit, and we see an increase in awareness in our consumer education survey that we are planning to conduct in the fall, then there's always potential for him to grow and expand.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
But we will be using Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as our YouTube channel to highlight things for Flesh Smart Day. So, you know, there'll definitely be an opportunity for you to share or repost things on other social media channels. But as Emily said, we're kind of testing out this concept. We like to test a lot of different things to see what really works. And so, you know, if this Twitter interaction with Clog Monster is successful, then next year I could imagine, you know, him being multi-channel.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Great.
So in the chat, I did put a link to the wastewater organizational toolkit. So you can click on that. And then also, if you currently are not getting our monthly newsletter, there is a sign up box on our website. So I put a link to our website in there as well, and you can sign up for that. And our next newsletter is going to go out tomorrow.
Awesome.
The other thing about media collaborations is I'd like to say is, you know, we're always looking for, you know, journalists want things to be hyper local. So if you have anything like about a clog or a leak or a spill or, you know, an issue, or you found hundreds of hot dogs in your sewers, or, you know, any crazy or interesting thing, then we are happy to, you know, take that information and package it up and try to pitch media using you as a local spokesperson and subject matter expert, as well as RFA, to kind of talk about the broader topic. So, you know, we'd love to partner with you on any of those things. I know from doing media relations, for many years, that the journalists really want to have that local hook. So yeah, I understand that this is an issue, and that California, you know, it's reported that they spent $47 million just to deal with wipes. But what does that mean for Sacramento? What does that mean for Orange County? You know, what does that mean for the Inland Empire, wherever? So those are anecdotes or data points that we are always looking for and interested in. Oh, and I see in the chat that Sac Sewer has their own creature. Oh, I love him, the Clog Squad. Yes, we should figure out how we can get them to that character to interact with the Clog Monster. You know, in San Francisco years ago, they had a Twitter handle for Carl the Fog. So for those of you who are in the San Francisco area, you know that the fog was named Carl, and it was really hilarious. But now it's really inactive. So yeah, if there's other characters or things that you think of that maybe aren't even related to your specific organization, let us know, because we would like to kind of have Clog Monster interact with similar things.
And I am dropping emails as well in the chat. per that request. So if you have any questions or ideas for collaborations, you can always reach out to myself. My name is Emily Petriccioni, if I didn't say that before. Laura, of course, at laura@flushsmart.org. And then Saveri, my colleague who's not on this call, saveri.nandigama@edelmanega.com. And we're happy to assist. But if there are no other questions, we will send around this deck, all the information that we covered once again, and the recording so that you can share with your social media managers if they were not able to join following this meeting. But thank you again so much for joining. Any final words, Laura?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, to echo what Emily said, thank you so much for joining. I'm just so pleased at how many of you joined us this morning. And I know that there were several others who couldn't join, so we'll share this recording. But, last year's Flush Smart Day was great. And I just really know that it can be so much better this year. And it's all thanks to you and to your involvement in really helping us to promote this. It's such an important topic. We need to keep these wipes out of the wastewater system. Not only does it cause a potential problem for homes where you could have a very expensive home plumbing bill, but it caused problem for the wastewater treatment centers and expensive repairs, as well as, if there's a leak that can have sewage going out into contaminating the waterways. But also keep in mind that non-flushable wipes, and the reason that this bill specifically calls out non-flushable wipes, they're primarily made with plastics. And so we really need to keep those out of our waterways. It's really important to do that. And, for a baby wipe specifically, you want that to be super soft and durable when you're using it on such delicate skin, but it needs to go in the trash, not the toilet ever. So thank you guys so much for helping spread the word. And, happy Flush Mart Day. But really, isn't every day a Flush Mart Day?
Very true.
Nice closing statement. Thanks for this. The creativity is really fun. I realize I should have spread the word more for this introduction, but this is Steve Jepson with Clean Water SoCal. We'll be sending this information out to our 80 public agency members, and I'm sure we'll get quite a bit of interest in further participation.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you, Steve. We're very excited about that. Okay. Any last questions? Basil, did you have a question?
No, I'm good. Just thank you so much. It was very informative, and we'll be in touch in terms of engaging with the
Awesome.
program. Thank you
Well,
so much.
we are very excited. So thank you. And, you have our email addresses. Don't hesitate to reach out with any further questions.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.